So now we want to kind of divide up and divvy up humanity now, right? And that's a mistake, because anything you look at on Earth, right, is the same thing, just recalibrated, right? We're talking about the multiplicity of life. You know what I mean? Life is diverse based off of survivability. You feel me? So you look at a white person, you look at a goddamn fish, you look at the same thing. Okay? Let's get that straight and establish that. That's basic biology, man. That's basic evolution, that everything has a common ancestor on this planet. This is easy work. A 6th grader come beat y'all up. My daughter will beat you up. I'm telling you, my nephew will beat you up. Well, this is basic science. I'm just saying as far, no. I'm saying as far as understanding biology and what evolution is. Evolution clearly states that everything has a common ancestor. But goddamn, that's African. The Africans said that in the Nile Valley Great Lake regions. That's exactly what they said. So everything is everything.
So here is the big point. When people come back and say man was always here, right? And they say that often and they twist it, right? From what reference do they have? See, because if you go to the reference of the Quran, again, the Creator, Allah, created man, Adam, right? Out of the black mud and the dry ringing clay, as he created everything else. It says that. So but what I'm just trying to say is, wait, no, I am saying, wait, let me finish, KT, let me finish, right? My problem is y'all don't have a reference to stand on but what you are saying. Because when I ask you for the references, one, I said what the Quran said, right? Then you have Genesis and the creation of man. In Genesis, man was not always there. In Genesis, either the Bereshit or the Christian Bible, man was not always there. So this is some new age thought that y'all are creating. Except for the African now, the African in the Nile Valley, he talks about the uncreated reality and ultimately the creation of man.
All right, I'm standing amongst some smart, educated brothers. Hold on. I'm standing amongst some smart brothers. But this is what bothers me. With all of y'all smartness, are y'all really smart? Because I hear y'all keep going back to some damn Allah and some Adam and Eve and Moses and Michael when we know none of that stuff existed. When we talking about Jesus and Moses and the Bible and the Quran, we know that all of that come up out of slavery, brother. That ain't got nothing to do with us as African people. So when are we going to get rid of the foolishness talking about the Quran and Allah and Moses and Abraham and Adam and Eve? I thought we'd been out of slavery for 200 and something plus years. But we still in slavery mentally when I hear y'all talking about some damn Jesus. When I hear y'all talking about some damn Allah. When I hear you talking about Abraham and Aaron and Moses, don't we know that those are all European names? How the hell Europeans was there back then? Hold on. When we talk about Paul, Luke, Mark, John, these are all European bastards. We know they didn't exist 2,000 years ago. So why are we still talking about that?
Well, let me ask you.
Talk to me.
Can you tell me about the characters in your game?
And listen, and hey, hold on. Come on, old timer. Come on, old timer, for a minute, man. Listen, and that's the very reason for the conference. Check this out. Now, we ain't disrespectful.
Yes, you have. I sat here quietly.
Hey, yo, but listen.
Here,
man.
That you individuals
So you talking to me? You talking to me?
I'm talking
about me?
Did it.
Oh, all right. Just check.
I don't bite my tongue. I'm being very specific. I said, I sat back and listened to you individuals say very disrespectful out of your mouths when no one, excuse me, I don't give a about what you follow or who you are or any of that shit. But since we having a conversation,
then enslave my goddamn.
I don't know nothing about what the you talking about. You understand? First of all, what I'm saying is that I ain't thrown no shots yet, brother. I've yet to hear one person who've asked all these questions prove anything that he said out of his mouth.
You didn't ask me no questions to prove.
I didn't.
I'll give references with resources.
You gave,
books.
brother. I said, excuse me, cause you, excuse me, brother, because you gave me references out of a book don't mean a damn thing. No, it doesn't, because when you go to court, it don't matter what book you read out of.
Man, you moving the goalpost now.
No, I'm not.
You moving the goalpost.
It's the same. Your books do not make the truth evident. Your books do not make the truth evident.
Now the police shot me. I can't come on.
You ain't said one thing to disprove what was stated.
What did
You don't.
Come on,
I want you to let him get his point out
Brother.
so he can teach, and then we
He
pass
can't
the
say
mic.
about the Quran because he can't read
Go ahead,
it.
go ahead, brother.
You don't know what I know. First of all. So no, we're not talking about. So what I'm saying is this. My question is
What's
this.
your question to me?
Whatever you bear witness to as being superior to you, whatever that is,
Let me tell a family.
when it designed you, because you didn't design yourself,
My mother getting her womb.
your mother and your father.
That's right.
The sperm came from your father. So whoever did the designing, your science was not intelligent enough to design the physical body the way it's designed, to equal out the same design that's in the universe. So whoever designed that did not design that on the physical plane. The baby in the womb, I'll get real simple. The baby in the womb is not designed, it's already designed in the mind. Before that sperm comes out your nuts, in that sperm is the design for everything that's going to be formulated in the womb of that woman.
And the sperm coming on?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah,
So,
they carry chromosomes. Go ahead.
so that design was designed in the unseen world, in a non-physical world, before it came and manifested itself out here into the physical world.
So explain the crackhead. Explain the crackhead.
There is no such thing as a crackhead.
It has a lot to do with it.
There is no such thing.
Let me answer
Yeah,
why.
there's no
Let me answer why.
Yeah, that intelligent design shit, yo. Some white
Because
shit.
what you're trying to say or trying to create is what's going to come out of that womb is perfect, right? And the fact of the matter is you're trying to connect it, and you're trying to connect it to God, right? And you cannot, and so but the problem is that our genes are faulty, right? Our genes, no, because that's what natural selection is. What happens is that when genes are faulty because of the environment, because of proteins, because of chemicals in our environment, because of pollution, right? The human system takes account for that and fixes it for the next life. And that's what happens in our biology. That's what happens in the biology of all life. That is what you call descent with modification and natural selection. But this issue of what our parents give us, right? Exactly. My problem is with that is that it is not necessarily perfect. It's through the multiplicities of these things happening, and we having relationships so that the best of us, or the most successful of us, right, so our race can survive, right? Because if we are producing weak children, we're not going to be able to survive. We have to now produce strong children. So this is part of all evolutionary theory.
I made no statement about a perfect gene or anything. My statement was when that child is an idea in your mind before you release that sperm, and that sperm travels down through the body. On its way out, it has all the information that is necessary for it to formulate in the womb of that woman, that child. So what I was stating was that process of creation was done long before it hit the physical world.
Where's your reference?
The reference is the makeup of the sperm in the body, brother.
Call that. What does that have to do? Wait, 1 second. Give me a real quick question. So, isn't that DNA and RNA? What does it have to do with what does it have to necessarily do with thought? I'm not going to discount it. I'm not going to discount thought, but I'm just going to say yes.
By thought.
I understand. But ultimately, your characteristics is in the DNA and the RNA. Your characteristics is already there.
DNA and RNA come from.
So how does DNA and RNA play in a name? Exactly. Everybody's stupid all of a sudden now. Huh? What? A name? Well, a name is who you identified with, right? Don't got nothing to do with DNA and RNA, but when I name a child, that child embodies that name. Regardless of DNA and RNA. I can have a child and name my child a name that has an intent behind that name, and as that child grows up, he will embody that name.
That's socialization.
There go another one.
Yeah, he got you with
No more. No, it ain't a reference. What do you mean that's socialism?
That is.
No, it ain't.
To do with biology, though.
You can name Jesus, and you got to live with it.
Well, this is the thing.
And you got to live
This is the thing. If we're talking about an energy or a spiritual force that comes prior to the physical that you're trying to talk about, reference, I use an example. And now they want to say, oh, you can't compare that to biology. But we're not talking about that now. We're talking about what comes before it. The energy that comes before it. It's called African spirituality. They talk about the force. They talk about the energy. They talk about the permeation of the unseen forces and how you're able to see it. The reason why they burn incense is because out of our 4 elements, there's an element we can't see. People want to say, hey, nah, when it's cold outside, brother, you can see your breath. Your breath is vapor. Okay, so it's heat and cold mixing together making vapor. That ain't your breath. We cannot see any air. You know what I mean?
Don't ask These niggas, hold on, back up. These niggas. So, brother Ankh and Reggie, simple question. Do you mean to tell me, do you guys acknowledge the existence of the African traditional systems? Palo Mayombe, Santeria, Lokumi, the Orishas and whatnot?
Yeah, I absolutely do all that. Go ahead. I do. You want me to speak on that though?
No, I want him to answer.
I do.
Yes, but we also look at it as scientific, where you look at it as just religious, right? Because those are religions. We look at that as quantum physics, right? And when we look at it as quantum physics, we come up with different answers than religions, because guess what? Those religions have failed us. Right? They have failed us. They have failed us.
I said the African traditional religions, the spiritual practices, not the religions, brother, the spiritual practices. And what we all know, hold on, one of the common denominators of those spiritual practices is the fact that they are working with the unseen. They're working with the elements. They're working with energies that you can't naturally, they're not in books and things of that nature. Say that again?
Hey, Red, and this is the point. Hold on, Red. Let me make this for you, Killer Mike. Listen, I promise you this, right? We've been sold a bill of goods. They say the African was the most spiritual on the planet. So you find niggas hamina, all goddamn day long. We fill up the churches, Catholics, we this, we that, we Muslims. Whole 9 yards based off of your oppressor telling you was the most spiritual, right? When the reality situation was you were the most scientific. So what made Africa great? It was based off of their science and technology and their resources. So they say sa.neter. What's sa.neter? The land of the gods. Nah, that wasn't called the land of the gods. It was called the land of nature, the land of resources, because that's what all the resources are right now in this world. Everybody want to get you the resources while you hamna. It's your resources that make you spiritual, because everybody out here, right, is about food, clothing, and shelter. If you can't pay your goddamn bills, you like, God damn. Let me hold on. I'm rocking right now, because I know y'all like. Hold on. Don't wrap me up. Because I'm looking at you mixing a whole lot of symbols there. I'm watching them. We ain't going to do it. My point is, now, see, it's time to wrap that shit up right now, right? Because it's so goddamn basic, right? It's about food, clothing, and shelter, and protection that. It has always been that for the living organism on Earth.
Can I add? So I want to add, right? So a lot of times A lot of times the problem, you know what the problem with the African here? Or the person that comes, the direct descendant from that continent we call Africa? We like to make up stuff, right? We like to talk about spirituality and stuff like that. We ain't read no primary text. We ain't read the text in the language of our ancestors. Most of us is faking the funk and just using words, right? Now, even when you go to things like voodoo and voodoo science and zombies, you make a zombie through blowfish. That's science, right? There are lots of, you heal by botany, right? By herbs, and that's correct. All of that is science. Now, the people who don't know it, they think it's religion and God. But when it comes down to it, right? When you start, the more you start looking, like you go out in space, the deeper you look in space, you ain't gonna find no heaven, you're gonna find science. Everywhere where you think you get closer to God in heaven, you're gonna find more science. Right?
Come on. Okay.
I just want.
All right. Hold on. No. Here we go.
Reggie came back home.
All right.
That's beet juice, right?
What's that? What's the element called in the ocean, everybody?
Water.
Okay. If you want to set something ablaze, what's that element called? Fire. Okay. As the wind, I'm talking about the 4 elements right now. When we talk about the wind coming through, what's that called? Okay. All right. So those are all y'all all identified with what I was saying based on names, on labels, right? So hold on. I'm talking. Hold on. I'm making a point right now. Let me finish. So when you're dealing with African spirituality and cosmology, and you're dealing with names of deities and orishas, you're talking about elemental forces. The same way that we call water, and air, and quantum, and atom, and electron. They didn't call it that. That's the point. Hold on. That's the point I'm trying to make. They didn't call it proton. They didn't call it neutron. They didn't call it electron. They had other names. The science is consistent. And what I'm saying is the science today is not consistent. They are not expressing all. That's water. That's water, baby. That's spirit, baby. That's spirit. It's trying to come up out of me right now. Listen, I can't calm down because this is the spirit right now. Nah, if I wanted to spit on the brother, if I wanted to spit, I'd hawk a loogie. Come on, man. I got saliva. That's how I'm able to speak. But I ain't gonna let him distract me. Check it out. The intent and the meaning comes before the word. The word is the label, so we can identify and relate the same thought. And the same.
You can't prove it though.
I can't prove the fact that that scientists name things based upon the action of it.
Hold on. We can look at the world around us, right? And we can basically tell who's on top of their science, right? Who's on top of their technology, right? Are the Africans on top of their science and technology?
Yes, they are.
Actually, they are.
Hold on.
And I'm going to prove it
Let me
tomorrow.
finish. Let me finish. Hold on. Let me finish. Watch this. Hey. I know we're cheerleading, right? But at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, look, at the end of the goddamn day, right? We need to let it go. We got our ass whipped. And you know what happened to Africa, right? They underdeveloped Africa and we lost our technology and science, right?
We ain't lost.
Listen. Hold on. My point is very clear, right? You got the Asians, right? You got the Indians, right? You know what I'm saying? They're technically sound, right? We need to raise our babies, right, to get back into science and technology. All that they talking about the hum. It don't get no bills paid. It don't get no ships built. It don't get no goddamn guns and protection built. No, it won't, man.
Where did the white man come from? Where did the white man come from? How was he created on the planet if he was created? And I want you to prove it. Don't just say it. Prove it.
Check this out. First of all, so we don't get confused and we don't play no word games. Unless you want me to go in a laboratory and take that brown germ out your nutsack and put him in a petri dish and then get another light-skinned person out here and put their light brown germ with that brown germ and make it weak and produce it, we ain't gonna produce no cracker right here, right now. But scientifically, the answer to the question is that he came from the black man. He's a genetic process. He was not created, he was made. Made means taking something from something. Creation means starting from scratch. So he didn't come from scratch because he didn't exist. He came out of you through the selection of your genes. You got two dominant genes in the black man, a brown germ and a black germ. The black germ is dominant, the brown germ is recessive. Anybody in biology, basic biology, understands this science. If you keep taking the brown germ, mix it with another brown germ, mix it with another brown germ, the shade in the complexion of that gene begins to change. So does the physiological structure of that gene begin to weaken. This is what produced the Caucasian. He's called a devil not because his skin is white, but because anything grafted from the original life germ that's made weak and wicked is a devil.
So let me answer the question.
So now,
I said,
does that
you
make
got
the
to be
black
the
man a
father
devil?
of the devil.
Of course, I am the father. But the father is not grafted. So therefore, the father can never be a devil. I can only act and work workings worse. But I can never be him because I'm not grafted.
You ready?
Nothing. 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 Sit like you sitting and accept your own.
I know all I'm asking for is references for that, brother. Where's your reference on that? No, where's your reference on the germ? The brown germ is in two germ. I just wanted.
Simple biology.
No. Where is the reference? What book did you read that
Any
in?
biology
No.
book.
You're lying.
I'm lying.
You're lying.
Then go prove it. Go prove it.
No, it would help me because I want to read that. That's all I'm saying. It should not be. I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm just saying we need to be able to verify what we saying out here. This going around the world. So if I ask him for a reference,
Go study. I said basic biology.
man, that's not. Listen, that wasn't no damn basic biology,
Why
yo.
not?
The devil. The whole,
Why not?
the black germ, the two light germ, that's not how white people came around, dog. That's not how that worked.
Let me ask you a question. Then you disprove what I want you to do is disprove.
I'm
You-
just saying,
but
give
you-
us the reference so we can go study.
If it's not the truth, then give me yours.
Listen, hold on.
Give me yours.
Listen. Check this out. Listen.
Listen.
Give yours up.
Basic anthropology, right? Okay, clearly makes this statement. What it says is the whole world population is African. All right? If you're human, AMH, anatomically correct human, you're African. So the question is, how does the African go from a dark brown in complexion, right, and all the different shades in between? It's called the goddamn sun, right? It's called skin. So you have to study skin to start to understand who you're looking at when you're looking at white people.
So you saying climate?
Climate, adaptation, climate, you can get in, because you're right. There you go. So the brother's right. You got climate, adaptation, and mutation. That ain't no old school. That's some real basic. Hold on, because the Eskimo. No, you know what's funny? No, hold on. First of all, the polar bear is a black bear. The polar bear is a black bear. No. The polar bear was a black bear that got caught in the glacial period.
And he turned white.
Right? Now, Eskimos actually live on the ice. White people never lived on the ice. Right? Hold on, it's basic. Come on, man. Come on. Why everybody jumping? Why is it when I grab this bike talk?
Pick it up from you.
You asked him for his references, correct? If he could point to a reference, would that validate anything in your mind in terms of clarity?
What it would do would allow me, it would allow me to be a part of the process of knowing. Because if you know something, you should be able to point the people to a reference so they can read it for themselves. The day of the goddamn preacher, charismatic speaker, that shit is over with, man. I want to be able to understand what the fuck you understand and how you came to your conclusion. That's called being goddamn intelligent.
Now, suppose he said he got that reference from me, right? Will that suit you're known for the purpose of knowledge? And because truth to the matter is, once he showed you his reference point, he said, hey, I got it from Roy. You gonna say, well, hell, where did Roy get it from? Because everything you think you know right now, you really don't own it. Because all knowledge belongs to the universe. You understand? So reference point can go back through many genealogies. But where's that going to take you? Either you're going to accept it as being truth, or you're just going to reject it.
Let me grab this. And that's why they got something called science, where you get testable results, where we can test these results over and over and over again to see if we get the same conclusions around the goddamn world. See, we can talk real slick and make it sound real good, but science stops all that. So if he made a statement that there's 2 genes in you, the such, we should be able to test that, right? And either form a conclusion, a scientific theory, or a scientific hypothesis off of that. But it's science. Science is clear, right? It's testable data, plain and simple. Now, how we interpret the data, right? That's something different. But the days of everybody with the extra slick talking, that is over with. You get my point? You feel me? That's why we deal with science.
Bro, Fernando,
we can't get away with the Malachi, yo. He was nice with it.
Listen,
I sat with him for 5 goddamn years.
Pops was definitely nice with it. Because
Nice. If you put the science on his ass, you start seeing that Pseudo come out.
Well,
Yeah,
that's a matter of personal
Yeah,
opinion.
man from-
That's a matter of personal opinion,
No,
though.
it's the reality of where we
That's
live.
your reality, beloved. But check it out, though. Hold on, listen. What color are your shoes, bro?
They black. They black.
They black?
They black. The color
Okay, but how can you prove that scientifically?
black. You can measure pigments. As a matter of fact, you got the Egyptians. They invented a color called royal blue. It's the first synthetic color on the planet. They did that with chemistry. So chemistry will allow me to break down the actual paint in that, and I'll know exactly what is it that make that up to make black. It's a science.
That's great, but you know what though? See, when you asking for reference points and whatnot, whether you're dealing with science or whatever, history or opinion, at some point it's about what you accept. Because you don't accept all science either.
Hey, Brother Roy, I don't think I'm properly. Peace, brother. I don't think I properly introduce you to the brother you sit next to. He go by the name of Unc, the real black atheist. Okay. The God killer. He goes by God killer, the real black atheist.
You trying to get
I ain't gonna believe that.
trying to get some things going, huh?
No, we ain't getting it going. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
it's time now for our community, right? To stop trying to say, well, that's the white man shit. The white man didn't invent science. It's the black woman. Her name is Shisha. Her name is science. She did this.
You get no argument from me on that.
So then if she did that, we know that Europeans are just rediscovering things, like evolution.
Right, brother.
They just rediscovered
You get no argument from me on that.
We can't say it's the white man and yet they still eating. We using cell phones. We riding bikes. Like this shit is a bunch of bull, man. I think we live in fear around this motherfucker. I'm tired of hearing the white man's the devil. It's like we done made this motherfucker a mythological character now. He's out and around. God didn't even kill the devil in the fucking Bible. So how the y'all gonna do it? Bring him back to motherfucking earth, deal with his ass with science and technology, and deal with his motherfucking ass. Plain and simple, yo.